Hi everyone, my name is Laura and welcome to Book Bubbler. Today's Friday reads needs to be quick. I need to leave for work in 10 minutes. I mean, now it's not precise. A bomb isn't going to go off if I don't leave in 10 minutes, but that's when I'm supposed to leave, so I'd like to try and hit that mark if I can. Okay, so jumping right in, the song of the week this week is Sleep to Dream by Fiona Apple. Yesterday morning I woke up and it was just playing in my head, like the middle of the song to the end, and then it was just a loop. And finally, after like 3 or 4 hours, I thought, okay, that's enough. I had to put it on just to get it out of my brain, and then it went away. I don't know. I never promised to make any kind of sense. So enjoy some mid-90s Fiona Apple. Okay, for the books that I finished this week, I finished 3 of them. One was an ebook, Mistletoe and I can't read my writing. Mistletoe and Mr Wright by Sarah Morgenthaler. This is the second in the Moose Springs, Alaska series. I didn't intend to read this one this quickly. I just put myself in for a hold on my library through the ebook system, and I thought I would get it in 5 or 6 weeks, and I got it in like 4 days. I don't know. And the same thing happened just now with the third book. I was like 6 weeks, I'm like, perfect, that's fine. And then boom, I have it already. So I don't know. Anyway, this one was cute. This one follows Lana from, she's the rich lady from the first book who is essentially buying up most of the town so she can expand the fancy hotel that's there for all these snooty McSnoots and make like timeshare condos for all these same people, and that would give the town more stability and everything. She's doing it because she loves the town. That's the only time she was happy when she was a kid, is when her family came to this snooty hotel and spent time together. So she's extremely rich, worth billions and billions of dollars, but her heart's in the right place. So she strikes up with Rich, who owns the pool hall in town, who is so behind on rent. There's no customers. He only is open to locals, you know. He's kind of tough exterior, but he's taking care of his sort of stepson, and he's got a grumpy cat that doesn't really like him much or anybody much, and he has a really cute pet hedgehog named Darla. So the two of them were very believable. They're both lonely people. They both need to find someone. They've both been hurt a lot in the past, and they're both just ready to fall for someone else. So it's great seeing them. I enjoyed this story more than the first one. I'm giving it, it should be 3.5 stars. And I realized that my 4-star rating of the first book in the series was mostly because I could finish it. It was exciting for me to finish a book for a while, and it made me feel really good. These books are sort of like Hallmark movies, only way low on the schmaltz, much more sarcastic, and not so moral, more real-lifey kind of stuff. So I probably should go back and downgrade that first book, but the experience of reading it and my delight in finishing something bumped it up that full star to 4 stars. Anyways, I enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to reading the third one. I'm not sure about the girl in this, but the guy is Easton, who's like that big, huge bulk of a guy. He's like 7 feet tall. He's the guy, and I like him a lot, so we'll see how that goes. But Mistletoe, Mr. Wright, it was entertaining. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was good. Okay, then I actually managed to finish 2 recommendations. I know, who would have thought? Okay, so first up, just because I've been reading it the longest, is Deceptions by Judith Michael. This was sent to me by the wonderful Jeanette Paulson. You probably have seen her in the comments. She sent me this one in the follow-up. So I feel like I talked about this in a vlog. Did I talk about this in my mid-month book bash? I'm not sure. I'll keep it short. The premise of this book is that there are 2 identical twins, and they grow up together, and then when they go to boarding school in Switzerland in high school, they become more of their own people, and they go to college in separate places, one in the States, one in France. The one in France marries a Lord or Viscount, I forget which it was, and then the one in the States marries a like scientist guy and is married and has kids. So after a while, they're both sick of their life, and on their annual trip together every year, they decide to switch places for a week. So they do, and not everybody catches on right away, and they find out that they like the other life, and they like each other's spouses or what they do, and they fit in, and they're feeling good about things, and then something big happens, and one is presumed dead. So then what happens now? This was good. Totally dramatic, very early 80s, like very early 80s vibes. It was hard to skim read this sometimes, just because partially it's very dense print on the page. And I would like skim a page or two, just like my normal speed of reading is pretty quick. So I would just be reading and I'm like, wait, what happened? So it made me slow down and read everything. It made me go, Sabrina, no, that's Stephanie. No, what? Like, so confusing. So I enjoyed it. I do want to see what happens. I'll read the second book. I'm not going to rush to it, but I liked this. I enjoyed this. Thank you, Jeanette. And then the other one I finished, the last one I finished, is The Winner by David Baldacci. This is his second or third book, and I'm so sorry. I forget who recommended this to me. I meant to pull the slip off of the fridge, and I forgot. I apologize. I will list it below. So it's very chunky, thriller, standalone, about Lady Luann. She's very poor, but she's beautiful. All the men tell her she's beautiful. This is very much men writing women. You know that thread on, is it Reddit or somewhere? It's somewhere I'm not participating in, but I do see the summaries sometimes and they crack me up. Like there are lots of stuff, lots of things in here that could qualify for that men writing women thread, because hoo boy. An example, like a loose example, because it comes up a lot throughout the book. Speaking for myself, and I don't know any other woman who thinks about their breasts as much as Luann seems to. Like, I don't think about them. They're just like, how often do you think about your biceps? Like, you just don't. Do you think about your quad muscles or your knees? No, you don't. If they hurt or you hit them, yes, you think about them, but otherwise it's just there. But she thinks about her breasts on a semi-regular basis, and what men think about her, and how she thinks her father wanted to do things to her when she was little, but he died, and all this stuff. And then she knows she can manipulate guys by tilting her eyes a certain way. It was like, sir, please do better. Granted, this is late 90s, but still, that was annoying and sort of like, oh God, this again. But the story itself was interesting. Rant aside. So Luann, very, very poor. This mysterious man who always dresses up. We don't find out who he is until very late in the book. But he's smart, and he always is like full costume, like fake mustache, fake everything, like padding to make himself look heavier. He finds all these people who are extremely destitute, down on their luck, and he guarantees them to win the U.S. National Lottery. And the agreement part of that is that they will never talk about it, obviously, and that after, like, they can't say anything for 10 years, or they have to do something for 10 years. There's a 10-year clause built into everyone's contract that they sign. And then he takes their money, gives them half to start, and then he invests the other half or something. He does some investment stuff. They get the full amount, their actual lottery amount, after the 10 years, whatever. But because of some weird circumstances, like luck was not on Luann's side, she's thinking about agreeing to this. She's not sure. She's thinking, okay, I'm not going to do it. She comes home and shit has hit the fan, like big time. And she gets involved in stuff that she shouldn't have been involved in. So she's running for her life now. And this guy finds out, she agrees to do it. He finds out what happened. And so now she has to leave the States and never return to the States. But of course, after 10 years, she thinks, I can come back. It's safe now. Oh no, it's not safe. So it's cat and mouse and all over the place, and the FBI is involved, and there's a reporter, and of course there's a different love interest, and the daughter's growing up, and it's a lot. It's like really quick, fast-paced stuff. Aside from all the men writing women stuff and the technology things I didn't really get, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I wouldn't say, oh my God, make this your first Baldacci, but I did like it. It was good. So if that kind of thing is appealing to you, if you need like a 90s thriller that you just kind of plow through, this could be it. Okay, how am I doing? Yeah, I'm 30 seconds under. Okay, let's see. Something I didn't talk about last week, but this week I am buddy reading The Long Weekend by Veronica Henry with Emily over at Novel Novels. She is such a delight. She's so wonderful. I just adore Emily. We have been having a really great time chatting on Boxer, checking in. I am behind. This is where I am, this front one here, and I should be here today. So, Oops. But it's really fun, very easy reading. It's a little confusing right now because there are so many storylines and so many people in each storyline, and then they all cross over in weird ways too. So that's a little fuzzy, but so far I'm really enjoying it. And can I just say, I don't know if it's still like this, I think it is, but I really love the font on a lot of British publications, especially hardcovers, because look how nice this is to read. It's not large print, it's like between large print and like what an American regular print would be, but it's just really easy to read. I don't know why US stuff has to be so small all the time. That could be an age thing too, I admit, but anyways. So I'm working on this, really enjoying it. I did just yesterday get a copy of The Island by Peter Benchley. That was a recommendation from Timmy at Lost Cunningham. I think his channel is just gone now, which is a bummer. I really like Timmy. Anyway, so I just got that yesterday. I'll be starting that soon. And then last night, I've been thinking about this book a lot off and on. I've dipped in and out over the years. This was a recommendation, not a personal recommendation, but a recommendation from Jamie Riddler. She has Jamie Riddler Studios channel. I will link below. I just adore her. I adore her. So she mentioned this book a while ago, Creating a Life Worth Living by Carol Lloyd, how she and her mom and her sister Shannon, who also has a channel I really enjoy. I will link Shannon's channel below. Actually, their other sister does too, but she doesn't post as much. Laura. Hi. So it's all about, as a creative person, how you make your own life and how you establish routines for yourself. And it applies to any kind of person who is creative. It doesn't really matter. It's in doing this itself. And it's just time for me to read this. I'm struggling a lot with my schedule I have for the last 15 years. I mean, the first 2 years I was doing massage, I had a really hard time not having like a 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. schedule and not being stressed all the time and running around and getting used to running errands at different times. And it took me a long time. And now, when all my friends were having kids and getting married and everything, they can only hang out at night, and I often worked evenings, or they can only hang out on the weekends, and I worked Saturdays, you know. So I've been struggling with this for a long time, and I'd like to start to let some of that self-imposed guilt go and be okay with how my life is scheduling wise. So working on this to get a little more clarity. This is not going to be a quick read. I don't think I'll finish it this year, but I am slowly working through this. So enough babbling. I'm going to draw one more book for my TBR jar. This will be the last one for this month. I have so enjoyed getting all these recommendations out of here. I'm working on everything. I've started every book, every recommendation except for Eye of the World, the Wheel of Time book, just because I'm trying to get into a little further into Pilot's Choice, which is SFF. First, I want to get that established, that world, the language and everything a little more firmly in my brain before I jump to Wheel of Time, but that'll be soon too. So everything is started and in progress. I'm going to keep reading these things and finishing them, but for now, last one. Okay. Ninefox Gambit by Yoon Lee. This is another one from Shannon at That's So Po. Shannon, that's 3 this time. What the heck? I mean, I'm delighted because I love everything I read by you so far. Read by you. Because you look like your name is really secretly Yoon Lee. No, I've heard so many good things, and you're the first person I heard about it from. So I will check this out. Thank you, Shannon. All right. Now I really have to go. I am over by, almost 4 minutes now. So quickly, coming up, I will be doing my September TBR. That should be on Tuesday, I think. Over the weekend, I'm going to put up my Shorty September TBR, as I'm participating in that in September. And I'm also going to be doing the Bob's Burgers readathon for September. It's just 1 week in September. And I'm not going to try and go for a blackout or anything, but I'll talk about that in my September TBR specifically, since I'm not going to try and do a full board. So I'm going to film and put up my Shorty September haul. Shorty September is hosted by Bert and Sean at Past Storytime, along with Heather from Soggy Expat Book Nerd. She did the illustrations for the wonderful bingo card. I love it. So that's going to be going up. I'll do an August haul sometime soon. It is way more reasonable than last time, I'm happy to report. Way more reasonable. So I think that's all for me rambling now. My need to be quick 15 minutes. But I hope you guys are all doing well and taking care, reading something fantastic. And I will be talking to you guys very soon. Bye.